Hey guys, Wilhelm1407 here. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the Magnificent Rides Collection DLC of Planet Coaster. So the first ride we're going to look at is the Tracker. It is similar to the rides used in Disney's parks, for example Pooh's Honey Hunt and the Mystic Manor, and the upcoming Beauty and the Beast ride. These ride vehicles are kind of similar to the EFT trackless ride vehicles, where they have a wire that is underneath the floor that the ride vehicle travels on, and then they have a receiver on the bottom of the car that picks up signals from the wire, and essentially that signal tells the car which direction to go, how to rotate, tilt, move, how to move. And so therefore it doesn't actually need a track. These cars resemble the Beauty and the Beast teacup ride, sort of, because of the way that the cars tilt also, as opposed to just moving around and spinning. Because the Beauty and the Beast ride, the teacups are supposed to quote-unquote kind of dance throughout the layout of the attraction, and so that's kind of what this is sort of like, I think. Now we're going to look at the Grand Carousel ride that comes with the DLC. I'm really happy we finally have a bigger carousel, because the one that came with the game initially, it was really tiny, and you don't typically see tiny carousels in bigger amusement parks, so this is a really nice addition. I'm guessing it's supposed to sort of be like Philadelphia Toboggan Company. I don't know. I don't really know much about carousels, honestly. The ride model looks really beautiful. I will say, however, that I think that the teacups should spin in different directions and maybe go at different speeds, because all of the carousels I've been on, you could control the direction and the speed of the teacups, but that's really the only complaint I have about this ride. Everything else looks great. So the next ride we are going to look at is the Hyper Jump, which is a Hoos Park Attractions shot and drop. These attractions are typically about 141 feet tall and go up and down at a rapid speed, like very similar to the S&S Power Towers. I've personally never ridden one of these. I think these might be more common in maybe Europe. You don't see a lot of these in America. You see more of the S&S towers here. But this is the smaller model. The larger model, Ascendance, which in real life is called a Shot and Drop Maxi by Hoos Park Attractions, it takes you up to the top of the ride, which is 190 feet typically, and then it shoots you down and then shoots you up and down various number of times. I assume it has a higher ride capacity than the smaller model. Like I said, I've never really been on any of these. So Power Moves is a Fabri Crazy Dance ride. And it is a little bit more intense than the one that I actually went on in real life, but I've only been on one, so I don't know. It's completely customizable, color-wise, and then it also comes with backgrounds. You can use a custom background, like I did. I just used like the roller coaster that I put on a lot of my YouTube channel stuff, but you can use one of the pre-made ones with the Planet Coaster backgrounds. And they don't really snap on into place. You kind of have to use the advanced controls to place them. So it's not like a quick snap. It's just you kind of have to move it around until it fits just right. Now onto the Sylve looping coaster, which is actually a Schwarzkopf looping coaster. Now, I designed two different layouts to showcase this ride's capabilities, because it has a lot of capabilities, but then it also lacks one ride operation mode that the Schwarzkopf coasters typically had. So this one I made this layout to showcase the reverse launch. I tried to make a layout that was similar to one of the shuttle loop coasters, where it would use drive tires to shoot you up one spike backwards, and then you'd go back down through the station, around, and then through a loop, and then up another spike, and then you do the whole thing backwards. But you have to kind of play with it a bit. It has to be able to go through the station 3 times, because it'll stop it if it's only set to 1 or 2 passes. And you really have to make sure that the drive tires don't shoot the train up too far up the spike. So where the reverse launch would actually be a little bit faster, it's not really that fast in the game, but the forwards launch is perfectly fine. And then most of the Schwarzkopf modeled stuff is pretty great. Like, I mean, the track looks great. The loop supports are fantastic. The only thing you have to I noticed is you have to use a very small track piece bent upward in order for the loop entrance to be not super long. So yeah, that's about like one of the only complaints I had with the loop. Now this is a layout that I designed to simply to kind of showcase a full circuit layout, because the blueprint that came with the game has a bunch of inversions that a Schwarzkopf coaster would never do. So I just kind of made a really short layout with a loop and a brake run to kind of showcase those, and the lift hill. Now the chain lift really doesn't match this particular model of looping coaster, and I've done a picture-in-picture so you can kind of see what I mean, where the chains are really different. I am nitpicking a little bit at this point, but if they were going to go with that model of lift, I kind of would have liked to have seen the other kind of chain as opposed to the other type of chain lift. Other than that, this coaster looks pretty great. I would like to see a forward launch though, to make some of the other launched looping shuttle coasters that Schwarzkopf made. I would like to see that in like an update, hopefully someday. Now, this next coaster is called Mind Melt. It is a Vekoma SLC. It's one of the most popular cookie cutter kind of rides out there. There's like 41 installations, and I can't remember if that is including custom layouts or if it's just the one layout. Well, they got technically there's like 2 layouts, and they both are just very slightly different towards the end. For the most part, this one I did not build this layout. This is the blueprint that comes with the game, and they kind of attempted to recreate the main layout that most Vekoma SLCs use. So the details are really great on this, and I'm really excited to actually build one, because I've been wanting to make a Vekoma SLC in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, but because the track is so limited in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 that I haven't actually really gotten around to making one. I'd start making one and then I'd get frustrated because I couldn't really do what I wanted to do with it. The details on the lift hill are actually really pretty nice. The catwalk is very accurate, being off to the side and not actually underneath the track. I've only ever seen one SLC, I believe it's called like Fireball or something like that. Can't remember what park it's in, but it had like a platform underneath the lift, and that is pretty unusual for a Vekoma SLC. The supports for auto supports are actually pretty nice. The last coaster type in the DLC is called Vector, and it is a Mack coaster, just kind of a general Mack coaster, because it comes with linear synchronized motors, chain lift, so you can pretty much build either a launched coaster or a mega coaster, or heck, you could even build a hyper coaster for that matter. Overall, I generally like the Mack coaster. I don't really have any complaints about it. I like the auto supports on the loop. They're really some of the better auto support loop supports that I've seen, so I really like those. And now for the ride that actually delayed the release of the DLC, the chairlift, ski lifts, whatever you want to call it. It's a lift with chairs. It had some kind of bug, and I'm not entirely convinced all the bugs are gone. I think there's still some in there. You can't build out of the station at a high angle because it doesn't curve the cable. It just kind of like it just jaggedly goes out. So just watch this. Watch. Ooh, oh, let's replay that again. See, oof, that's not smooth at all. Let's see what it looks like when you enter the next station. Oh, look, it smoothly curves down and enters the station. Now, why is the other station weird? I want to know. So, I don't know if that was a bug or one of the bugs that was a problem with this ride, but I'm just assuming that it is because it's still there, so I don't know. It'll probably get fixed in an update, but until then, just beware when you build with this that it's a little bit wonky when you build the very first station, because it's not going to curve the cable and it's just going to be a pointed cable. But the detail on the supports and the rest of the ride are all pretty great, so I think once they get it fixed, it's going to be a pretty nice addition to the game, honestly. Feels a little unfinished, and I don't know if this is also a bug, but nobody seemed to want to ride this. I had it open, and everybody would just walk away from it, so maybe it's just not intense enough. Like, they're just kind of like, I want to go on something more intense than Chairlift 1. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. I'm really hoping that they fix the chairlift ride and that we get one or two more operating modes for the Schwarzkopf coaster. Let me know what you guys think of this DLC in the comments below. I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching and take care.